컨티뉴엄은 미국 캘리포니아 와인의 선구자인 몬다비가의 일원인 팀 몬다비가 설립한 와이너리인데요. 한 가지 스타일의 레드와인만으로 세계 최고의 와인을 만들고자 하는 팀 몬다비의 의지가 담긴 곳입니다. 이곳은 들어온 입구부터 과연 프리미엄 와인은 이런 곳에서 만들어지겠구나라는 생각이 들게 한답니다. 나파밸리에서 가장 좋은 전망과 경치를 자랑하는 와이너리 중에 하나입니다. 컨티뉴엄은 세계 최고의 와인 중 하나로 인정받기 위해서 각 빈티지마다 특별한 프리미엄 레드 와인에 중점을 두고 있습니다. 컨티뉴엄 와인에 대해 설명하자면 진하면서 풍부한 과일향의 풍미가 복합적이고요. 탄닌이 풍부하고 밸런스가 뛰어나 오래 보관하고 마실 수 있는 장기 숙성력을 갖춘 전형적인 고급 와인이라고 할 수 있습니다.
We entered into prohibition for 13 years. There's a stipulation in the Prohibition Act, under the Volstead Act, that wine could be made for medicinal purposes, for sacramental purposes, but also for home winemaking. Not really sure what the thinking was, but there was an ability for people at home, if you could source the grapes and if you knew what you're doing, you didn't want your wine to spoil, you can make 4 barrels of wine per household. And so this is what the 몬다비 family did. They were in the mining business up in very, very upstate Minnesota, very cold location. They had immigrated from Italy from the Marche region, east of Rome. So a rather warm area, and then he went to upstate in this iron ore mine to make a living. And Mr. 몬다비 and his wife Rosa were taking care of Italian immigrants who were miners. And so you can imagine the potential Armageddon, the mutiny that would happen if an Italian miner couldn't have a glass of red wine. I mean, what's the point? I might be poor back in Italy, but at least I can have wine. So Mr. 몬다비 seized the moment and came in late 1919, about this time, to find grapes 100 years ago. So this is the start of the evolution of the amazing 몬다비 family. I'd like to show you around. And it grows wild up here. Urban renewal here. So pass that to your neighbor. Do you like each? And so
Wow. Oh, wow.
So this is not a cooking sage, but this is a wild sage that grows, and it's a deciduous plant. So it's going to go through its cycles. You can see some of the parts that are greener, and so it's going to decompose. And with this air that comes through, thank you, right on time, is that it transports these compounds, these molecules, onto the nearby vines. So that's really cool because that's just one more subtle, dimension of the things that are here on this property naturally, and it's such a distinction from a Highway 29 sort of environment. So we think that's just one more added bonus that we have at Continuum, is to have some of these very aromatic botanicals, if you will, that are. Well, one of the other things that's going on here is, particularly we do everything by hand, so we have to go through these vineyards. But what's going on here with this leaf removal is we are identifying the fact that this has too many leaves for the fruit that it's hanging. And so what that means is that every leaf is a carbohydrate manufacturing plant. So this is throwing sugar into a small amount of grapes, which means that if we don't take steps to mitigate the leaves, then we'll have too much sugar in the fruit, and too much sugar will then result in an unbalanced wine, a high alcohol wine. So one of the things that we taking steps for in climate change, in a climate change environment, is that how do we maintain balanced wine, and specifically how do we keep our alcohols within a safe zone, and this is how we do it.
까다로운 생산과 특별한 제조 과정, 그리고 그들만의 노하우로 만들어진 컨티뉴엄 와인은 제가 개인적으로 가장 선호하는 와인이며 특별한 날에만 마시고 싶은 고품격 와인이라고 할 수 있습니다. 나파밸리의 와이너리 투어를 하신다면 이곳을 하이라이트 코스로 잡아보시길 권해드립니다.